Hello, and welcome. Today, we're going to wrestle with a concept that has baffled philosophers and mathematicians for millennia: infinity. From the ancient Greeks to the postmodern era, infinity has been a source of paradox, wonder, and a profound sense of the limits of human understanding. Let's start with Zeno of Elea, a pre-Socratic philosopher famous for his paradoxes. Perhaps the most well-known is Achilles and the tortoise. In this thought experiment, the swift Achilles races a tortoise. Achilles gives the tortoise a head start. Zeno argues that Achilles can never overtake the tortoise, because, in order for Achilles to catch the tortoise, he has to first reach the point where the tortoise started. But by the time Achilles gets there, the tortoise has moved a little further. And so on, ad infinitum. Achilles gets closer and closer, but he must cover an infinite number of ever smaller distances, which, Zeno argued, should take an infinite amount of time. Another of Zeno's paradoxes is the dichotomy paradox. To traverse any distance, you first have to cover half the distance. Then you have to cover half of the remaining distance, and so on. Again, you have to complete an infinite number of tasks, which seems impossible. Zeno's paradoxes challenged the very idea of motion and change. They raised fundamental questions about the nature of space, time, and the infinite. Are space and time infinitely divisible? Or is there a smallest, indivisible unit? These questions wouldn't be fully addressed for centuries. Enter George Cantor, a 19th-century mathematician, who revolutionized our understanding of infinity. Cantor developed set theory, and he dared to ask, are all infinities the same size? It seems like a strange question, but Cantor proved that there are different sizes of infinity. He showed that the set of all natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, and so on, is countably infinite. But the set of all real numbers, which includes all the rational and irrational numbers, is incountably infinite. It's a larger infinity. Cantor introduced the concept of transfinite numbers, numbers that are beyond finite. He used the Hebrew letter aleph to represent these infinities. Aleph null is the cardinality of the set of natural numbers. The cardinality of the real numbers is often denoted as C for continuum. But Cantor's work also led to new paradoxes. One of the most famous is the Continuum Hypothesis, which asks whether there's an infinity between the cardinality of the natural numbers and the cardinality of the real numbers, C. Cantor believed there wasn't, but he couldn't prove it. It was later shown that the Continuum Hypothesis is independent of the standard axioms of set theory. It can neither be proven nor disproven within that system. This is where the postmodern connection comes in. Postmodern thought often emphasizes the incompleteness and indeterminacy of knowledge. Just like Gödel's incompleteness theorems showed that there are limits to what can be proven within a formal system, the paradoxes and unresolved questions surrounding infinity highlight the limits of our logical and mathematical frameworks. The infinite, in a sense, becomes a metaphor for the abyss, the unknowable, the unrepresentable, the point where our systems of meaning break down. Postmodern thinkers often reject the idea of a single, unified, grand narrative, or a complete and consistent system of knowledge. The paradoxes of infinity reinforce this skepticism about totality and closure. The limit in calculus presents a familiar paradox. How can you get infinitely close to something without actually reaching it? So, from Zeno's ancient puzzles to Cantor's mind-bending set theory and the open questions of the Continuum Hypothesis, the concept of infinity continues to challenge our understanding of logic, reality, and the limits of human knowledge. It's a concept that forces us to confront the inherent paradoxes and incompleteness that lie at the heart of our attempts to grasp the universe. What do you think? Is infinity a purely mathematical concept, or does it reflect something fundamental about the nature of reality? And how does the paradox of infinity challenge our traditional notions of truth and knowledge? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this exploration of the infinite abyss, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.